having a buy stop here. 4-hour trade. This is what I'm looking at. And we're in there. I'm gonna go break even here. This is a sell formation. So if it re-breaks this low, it's most likely gonna come down. But if it re-breaks this high, it's most likely gone. What up, Chris? What up, Marcus? How are you, brother? I'm gonna take one off the table and secure some commissions. I stacked on this one an extra. When my stops are low, I've been adding 3 contracts instead of 2. Oh, that taps me out. What does that get us on the night? Yeah, we're basically break even. I actually got stopped out break even. Damn, I've attempted buys twice. I got stopped out break even right here on this pullback, and then I got stopped out break even here. If this continues to drive, I think I'm just... No, I think I managed my risk properly. Yeah, I managed properly. The better entry was when the 5-minute pulled back and did this, but when I got stopped out here on the pullback, I got off the charts for the until stream started. So possibly the buys here were the better entry with the stop loss below the lows here. I would have moved my stops down here, and then if price did this, boom, 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 then I would move my stops up to the new low formed here. Instead of potentially getting wicked out and then driving up, I would wait for that low, and then the re-break of that low to form. So let's just wait for the hourly. Let's get an hourly closure here. Let's get a 30-minute closure as well. Let's see if the next 30, if we keep driving up, the next 30 comes down, creates a bottom wick for this one and flips bullish, giving us the money printer. That's something we can look for. I'm definitely bullish in the session, looking to target these highs. We already swept these highs here, and we came back down and closed into range, so we have to be careful what happens here. So it looks like we're rejecting the area over here, so we have to really break out of this level here, or if not, we're probably going to come back down to grab a steeper wick. So New York VWAP is still all the way down here. I just saw something that said you are the average of your 2 closest friends. You take your first closest friend, your second closest friend, you average them together, and you are the sum of that. And it makes perfect fucking sense. I would go by groups, but I have a group of friends that everybody's doing very, 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 very well. Most of them better than me. And then I have another really group of good friends that I'm doing better than the majority of them. And then I'm right in the middle of the fucking people I want to be like and the lifestyle that I'm getting away from. Yeah, man, you guys, you to the 6 viewers that are watching right now, work every waking second of the day. If you have a child that's between the ages of 1 and like 5, there's not much you can do in terms of quality time with them that's going to be super beneficial. You know, they're still figuring life out. They're still figuring shit out. But once the child is able to talk and to really figure things out, all right, you want to be there and you want to interact 24 hours a day. But when you have that little toddler stage, bro, when they don't even speak, bro. They're just sitting there, blah, 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 blah. You gotta be working, dog. If you have no kids, even better. But you gotta be working every second of the day. You can't be having an excuse saying, but kids this, family that. Bro, there's no excuses. Excuses don't exist. It's exactly that. It's an excuse. It's not a reason as to why you can't do what you want to do. Oh, but it's not easy when you have kids. You're telling me 2 days a week you can't tell your wife, hey, I need to sit down with my mentor for 3 hours, 2 hours. These 2 days of the week, you got the kids. You pick 2 days where I'm gonna take them for you, and you can do your own hobby and hang out and relax and do whatever you want to do. There's always a way, bro. There's always a way. If you guys only knew the shit I do to be able to get on the charts and the sacrifices I make to sit here and stream and to just do it because I love it. Even if I wasn't streaming, I would be here. You can ask Chris in the comments there. He would be like, yo, why are you, let's go to the gym. I'm like, nah, bro, I gotta be home by 8. The fuck you mean you gotta be home by? I'm like, yeah, bro, that's when Asian session starts. That's when Wix starts streaming. I gotta be there by 8 o'clock. I gotta be there. And I would only go to the gym the days I would get off early enough that we can go together and I can get off by 8 so I can be on stream. Every day. He'll be like, yo, you have time, you just don't want to. And I'm like, yeah, I'm busy, bro. I would rather go on stream than go to the gym. I'd rather go watch Wix than go to the gym. I'd rather stream and go watch Wix and hang out on stream than make my dinner. I'll wait to eat dinner till after. This is what the fuck I love to do, and I'm gonna sacrifice whatever it takes to do it. And that's it. And that's it. No ifs, ands, or buts. And I'm also gonna spark this blunt. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed as fuck, bro. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I'm pushing myself too hard. And then I rest and I think, and I'm like, I'm not pushing myself hard enough. Damn. 2 break evens, both got taken out. Damn. That's annoying. Break even here. Break even here. So what does that bring my win rate to that I added 2 more losses? Trading changed me 100%. I'd rather watch candles and hang out with people. I'd rather trade than sleep. Low-key drove a bunch of friends away, but I don't care. The amount of new relationships I've made through trading is crazy. 100% agreed. 100% to the T. If this does drive now, If we can get above this level for the hourly open, that'd be nice. I got stopped out break even here, unfortunately. But yeah, bro. I was already self-isolating because I knew I had to, but I just had no idea what I needed to do. And then I found trading. Wow. I managed risk to aggressively try not to take a fourth loss in a row, I believe. It'd be like that. Wow. No chasing. Like in the beginning of COVID, before COVID started, I was like, all right, I can't go out every weekend. I gotta figure out what I can do and just stay home and save my money. Whoa. I have a buddy of mine who makes really good money doing air conditioning, and he doesn't understand why I'm trading and I'm streaming. He's like, don't you make enough money at your job? And I'm like, enough money, bro? What? And he's like, what do you do? How do you find time to trade? And I'm like, well, bro, I wake up at 6 in the morning and I get on the charts till 8. And then I go to work. And I get off work 5, 6 o'clock sometimes. And I come home, shower, eat, and trade again till 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, midnight. And then I go to sleep and I repeat. So I go from 9 to 5 to 9 to 5. He's like, oh, but what about work-life balance? And I'm like, all right, bro. The second that you start to think about work-life balance, if you're not rich, there's no such thing as a work-life balance. You need to work your ass off until you get there. That's how I feel. There's no such thing, bro, as a man not being productive. That's how you fall into depression. As a man, you need to be productive. The fuck are you gonna do? Sit on a yacht every single day and just fan your ball sack and just flex how much money you got? That's not productive. That's gay. Like, if the reason you want to get rich is so that you can not do anything, bro, you're gonna be depressed. You are going to fall into such a deep depression. Why do you think people with millions and millions of dollars still work? Like my uncle's about to retire and he's picking up trading. And he's starting off the prop firm route. And he's so conservative with his money. He'll literally trade one micro to pass an evaluation. He tried once and didn't have enough time to actually trade it. So he canceled the account, and then once the month ended, it closed because he couldn't find the proper session to trade. He was trying to figure out what session works for him. So he literally took an entire month of just taking down data, not even trading, and canceling the account. And then he bought again, and he's gonna start doing it now. And even though he just ran, we've been working together for 12 years. 40, 50, 60 hours a week, and he's retiring. You would think, oh, he's gonna go chill out. No, He's picking up trading. He's watching videos. He's taking notes. He's learning a new fucking craft. Maybe it's for him. Maybe it's not. But he's doing something. And he's watching videos. He's taking notes. He's literally calling me, sitting on the phone with me for hours. And we're talking about trading. And we're talking about how to set up an account. And all the rules and everything. And literally walking him through how to find his own strategy. The right way. There's no such thing as a holy grail. He already has like an ICT foundation. I'm like, cool, keep rolling with that, and then we can refine as we go. Easy. And I'm like, I don't talk about trading that much because I look at charts so much. So when I'm switching over to my other work, I don't want to talk about trading again, especially when I'm just hanging out. I want to talk about trading when the markets are open. All right, no bottom wick here, no bottom wick here, no bottom wick here. That could just mean we're just going to continue driving. So let's see how we close above this area. Yeah, yeah, 100%. 100%, Nate. Because once you got the strategy down, you're like, oh, I keep doing this. But I know the strategy. Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep being impatient? When you start to be impatient, you have 5 confluences that you look for. You see 4, you take the trade anyways because in your mind you're kind of a little bit blurry. You're impatient and you forget to see the 5th one. And only do you see the 5th one after you're already in the trade and in drawdown. You see what I'm saying? So it's things like that where you have to be as sharp as possible because one little ounce of greed that hits you, one little ounce of FOMO that hits you, that little bit can instantly detract you from analyzing properly. Especially certain personality types and certain people that have no impulse control. Like they may be super smart and they maybe have gotten the strategy down, but they have no impulse control. Every time they feel an itch, they'll bite their nails, or they'll hit the vape, or they'll grab their fidget spinner, or they'll go get a drink, or they'll drink some alcohol, or like every time they get an itch of anything, they instantly have something that they can grab, and you know what I mean? Like people like that, where they're like, oh, I'm a little anxious right now, I'm gonna hit my vape. Ah, shit, it's getting a little bit rough. Let me drink a beer. And then you're sitting there in a trade and you're spinning the fidget spinner, ding, 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 ding. Because you have anxiety and you're going, ding, 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 just watching the charts, ding, 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 ding. Like that kind of, I mean, that happens to all of us, but just that in itself, it doesn't matter if you have the Holy Grail. If you're experiencing those emotions and then you're acting on them, you're gonna fucking fail. It doesn't matter if you have the Holy Grail perfect strategy. That's why I believe the failure rate is so high in this industry because the majority of people's personalities don't allow them to have this kind of self-control. So what happened? Did Turpy, somebody crash him or he accidented himself? Damn, I drank all of my coffee. What the fuck? How the fuck did I do that? I don't fuck with bikes, man. I've had multiple friends pass away on bikes. None of them their fault. That happened to an old coworker of mine. He bought a brand new Harley, and by the beach in our area, there's like a little roundabout, and they were doing construction on Trump's Mar-a-Lago property, I believe. And the dust from that was like dusting up the road. This was like almost 15 years ago. And he went around the roundabout and he missed the exit. So when he went around the second time, he was kind of like speeding up as he went around the second time, and he hit like a pocket of dirt, and the bike slid out from underneath him, and him and his girlfriend fell off. But they were going like 20 miles an hour around, then maybe accelerated to like 30. So a couple of burns, and then they got back on the bike and kept going. But speed, bro, fuck. I've had experience with speed wobbles. I have a scar here on my hand. One of my best friends, Shane, rest in peace, who passed away on a bike. We were skateboarding, and he decided to pull up on us as we were skateboarding up and down a hill, and then he pulls in to the street at the top of the hill, and we're like, "Yo, let's grab onto the car." And my boy grabbed onto the other side, and I'm like, "Damn, I gotta ride Goofy if I want to grab onto it." So I don't know how to ride Goofy, so I started riding Goofy, and like halfway down the hill, I wobbled and I let go, and I thought that I could run that fast. And the second I stepped off the bike, I went and just went head first into the ground, and I hit my hand like this. I went head first, but I had my hand like this. To this day, bro, I see the scar every day. It's going away. It's been like almost like 10 years now, but I can still see it there. Massive bullish hourly. We're closing above this area. If it stays above the next, if we can get a bottom wick and a flip bullish, that's perfect. Damn, that rebreak of the high was clean too if it wasn't right before the hourly closure. Let's get a top wick. Leave us a top wick. Pull back. Don't close without with no top wick, please. I kind of need a steep bottom wick on the hourly, or at least into these areas, so that I can use that as a stop. I don't want to use the entire daily range here. I mean, it is 80 pips, but if it flips bearish and it starts driving down, I don't think I would take a pineapple. It's just probably going to dump and continue down. See how steep it can go. What up, Jonathan? I'm perfectly fine to see that drive. These are the buys that I got stopped out earlier playing out. Oh no, actually I took buys here. I know exactly what happened too. So I accidentally took buys on GC, and I entered 3 contracts on GC on the break of this high here. But then we pulled back and created an even steeper bottom wick here. And I had to close so fast because this would have blown my account. This would have blown all of my live accounts because I didn't notice I was on GC. my mind went blank and I searched up the GC chart. And when I looked, I closed it at like 3 pips profit, bro. And I was like, my heart was pumping. And then when I re-entered, I didn't have my chart stretched out, and I re-entered like up here. So then I saw like 9 pips profit, and I still held the trade. I didn't go break even. The entry was supposed to be here, which would have been 34 pips in profit. But I didn't have my chart stretched out. I had it like this. So then I just market executed again. But then within that minute, that took me to transition over from one side to the other, and price pumped like 20 pips. I entered, it gave me another 10 pips, and then it dumped and did the rest here. Boom, 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 boom. Stopped me out of the break of the low here. That's where my stop loss was. Right here. And then it just went straight. Doom, doom. Stopped me out. Drove another 50 pips. This is where my stop loss is. Okay, I'm going to have a buy stop here. On the flip. I added like 3-4 pips because if it does flip bullish and start driving, we can look for at least 30 pips of target. We can put a stop loss somewhere down here in range, so that way if the price does flip bearish and start driving down, we have enough room to where it'll give us a closure if it happens, maybe down here by VWAP. Yeah, that's like 30 pip stops. I mean, this is just textbook setup. Damn, the first 4 minutes of the hourly, it drove all that. Am I super stretched out here? We closed above, made a bottom wick, flipped bullish. It's an hourly closure. Our daily made a bottom wick. Our 4 hours forming the celery play on the 4 hour. So we're celerying it up on the 4 hour here, and this is the celery actually playing out. Generally, we get the fill of the wick. Closure above, bottom wick into the previous range, flip bullish, rebreak of the highs. If this was New York, this thing would drive up heavy as fuck. 1 second. I gotta put my nose strips on. I gotta see why sometimes there's like 40 people and then other times there's like 10. I gotta see where those other 30 something people are coming from. It's weird. Yesterday during the loss, there was barely any people watching, but the last week on the last day when we took the last couple wins, it was like 30, 40 people. Nah, fake views. The only way you can get authentic fake viewers is by paying a bot farm. But bot farms wouldn't just go raid a random person's shit. YouTube deletes accounts that go and spam on people's page. That's why on YouTube I don't get any comments of people promoting, oh, get followers here or and shit like that. But I do on Twitch because Twitch doesn't block that from happening. So, if we were really overextended, we just made a massive high here. We are likely going to come back to retest this before dumping. What do you see here when price dumped? You made the high, price made that drive down. We're at this level right now taking buys to try to catch this piece before the next leg down. So looking at price drove, came down, still came back and tried to retest all these areas up here, this gap that it made. We're looking to target the same thing. We have clean range on this candle. This is 1 5-minute candle of clean traffic up, 5-minute clean traffic down. So we just have beautiful traffic to the upside here, and we've closed within the bullish area of that as we have bullish momentum driving up. So this is the bullish block where price drives from Price has driven off support, created a daily low, 4 hours flipping bullish, hourly flipping bullish. All the time frames are flipping bullish. And we've created support here. A flip bullish can possibly give us a push like this. So that's what we're looking to mirror. Now you got a lot of wicks to the downside here, right? So I got my stop loss pretty much back in range. Price would have to drive all the way back down close, flip bullish, and then re-break that low for it to, you know, take me out. But I'm looking to catch maybe this candle here. How many pips would this be? That's 33 pips. With a 30 pip stop, that's pretty Gucci. Because I could have 150 pip stops like I normally do, which would be all the break of these lows down here, which means that price would have to drive all the way down here and possibly give me an entry by here. I wouldn't take a pineapple here. I mean, taking a pineapple here, you're risking 69 pips. Once you flip bullish, that's about 20, so you're risking 69 plus 20, you're risking 80 pips here. Because once you flip bullish here, if it re-breaks the low, you're going to come back down to the next level, and you can't have two entries holding all the way down to here unless you want to blow your account. You're going to hold two entries, one for 140 pips and the other one for 95 pips. That's 250 pips that you're holding it for. So would you rather take a small stop here and say, okay, I took the stop loss here, which means that my entry wasn't the entry that drove. So I have to just keep getting better at identifying the entries that drive. And that's it. That's just probability playing itself out. Like when I took the buys here, I got stopped out like a motherfucker. Price just needed more liquidity. After doing this, coming back down and doing this, I got faked out. The same thing could happen here, right? We got that high, we got this high, we got the drive up, we got the drive up. Now is doing the bottom, the support, and flipping bullish. Same thing, same scenario that's happening here is happening on the smaller time frame here. But see, look, we wicked into the area, we didn't close above. We closed above, closed back below, wicking into this little order block. If this flips bearish now, this is a sell setup that I have here. But I'm going off the higher time frame and not taking this as a super key level. Damn, Bouge, I just saw your muscle cramp shit. My back is feeling better, and I'm going on a cruise in 29 days. So I got 29 days to put on weight. I don't like, people are like, oh, I gotta get shredded for the cruise. No, 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 no. I bulk up for the cruise. And I get huge. When you're already lean and you go through like the initial phases of a bulk, your body retains a lot of water before it starts to store fat. So you'll start to look like hyperinflated for like a week or two. This is gonna activate me, but no bottom wick on that 15. Ooh. We are in there. Levels here. We literally have nothing really. Is this your first time using Top Step, Bougie? You gotta sign your certificate or sign your, I think the same thing as top one. Yeah, this would flip our 4 hour where our stop loss is. 4 hour salary play closure above this level. Yeah, man. Yeah. Never had that happen to me on Top Step. I took like 3 evals with them. I passed 2 accounts and then I blew both of the accounts with them and then I never bought any more because at the time I wasn't um I was trading a little bit different. I was using too many positions, but a lot of pineapples, and the way that they had their setup was 2 contracts until you scale. So I was like, wow, if I take 1 entry, I won't be able to take a pineapple. Yeah, the only thing that I've been managing and looking at differently is on my positions where I have like 200 pips of stop loss. Instead of holding 1 entry and then taking another entry, letting it hit the stop loss. Once price actually sets up for the second entry, I'll go in with an extra 50% risk on that entry. And because sometimes that second pineapple is the better entry and price is going to deliver to the first entry, you can close partials, leave runners, etc., and then make your money back on your way back to the first entry with runners. If it hits both stops, it hit one stop for 40, 50 pips, and then it hits another stop for 40, 50 pips versus hitting uh, 2 entries, 100 pips in drawdown on one and then 50 on the other. Where my break even is. I got 2 contracts I'm gonna sell there. support, in my experience, is not that great. They take a long time to reply. If it is a situation where you get rebilled on accident or something like that, they will rectify it. They have no problems with that. But let's say it takes them a week to respond to you and you get rebilled 10 times and they charge you $1,000. When they finally get to you, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we did charge you $1,000 here. Let's return this to you. If somebody replied, bro, then you're lucky. Then, or maybe they changed the way I haven't had a Top Step account in like a year. But when I was on there, bro, I was like, I forgot what issue I had, but I needed to talk to support, and they didn't hit me back until like a day later. I'm like, uh-oh. I tried spamming I need a real person on top one, but it doesn't work. On top one, you need to go through the questions. If price closes cleanly bullish, makes a bottom wick, and then re-breaks the high, I might extend my TP. But if this 30 starts pumping up with no top wick, I'll go break even. It can do whatever it wants. It can be a little bitch. Alright, we're break even here. Yeah, we're not gonna touch anything anymore. We just let it rock. That was at 12 pips, 13 pips. We're gonna get a bottom wick. It's gonna take us out, and then it's gonna flip bullish. Depending on how steep that bottom wick is, I might look for a re-entry. I can actually move my stop loss down 18 pips and be totally break even if it hits the stop and give it room to run on the runner, but I haven't thought of that yet. That seems like a not so bad idea, and just accept a break even, understanding that that runner might be the one. I removed the 5-minute rule that I had because of the Forex account. I didn't have to do it anymore, but it would have benefited me tonight to have that 5-minute rule. This is what I was talking about, a no bottom wick push. If you reject off of this area, what a clean break even in target. And then we can maybe look for a re-push to the upside afterwards. And just keep retaking buys. Ideally, the ones that I was in there in the beginning should have been in a runner. Hey, good shit. If you get a pop up here on the 30 without creating that bottom wick, I'm going to move my stop loss. I'm going to move this up 10 pips. Because if that 30 flips bearish with the way the 30 closed, that'd be kind of a money printer. If this creates a steep top wick and then flips bearish again, that'd be kind of a money printer on the 30 to create that bottom wick. Oh, there's volume in this bitch. See if you can get like a 10 pip pop. Get it to 20 so I can move it up to 10. I haven't heard my dog in like 20 minutes. Give me a second. Of course, I'm not going to hear him. I accidentally locked him in my other room. Thumbs up if we survive. Like the stream, gang. This tiny little bottom wick might be the reason we come all the way down, grab orders, and then reflip bullish. But we secured profits. We survive. I was pointing at all of the wicks we have here. Probably not. There it goes. I like this though. If it flips bullish, man. The steeper the better. That can be our stop. $14 pips we got on that. break even hit on the trade, bro. I got stopped out break even, 14 pips profit. Have you guys seen those Instagram dudes that are going viral for doing magic tricks to randoms on the street? Well, what a dump. What a closure. Well, what a dump. I did not have any sell positions there. I did not have that as a key level to take sells off of either. Did any of you take sells there? Hey, Grant Jackson, I saw you subscribed earlier before I was even on stream. I had the Streamlabs open and it notified me. I appreciate you, bro. Dude. Money printer on the hourly. Back into range. 4 hours flipping right here, bearish. If this 4 hour flips bearish, holy shit, we're gonna have a nice maybe sell off in the next closure. Yeah, that dump was crazy. Are we gonna flip bullish here? What the fuck? It stopped you out, and if it flips, we kind of closed below here. We're forming a bottom wick first, though. What's this 15 look like? Bearish, respecting, wick, came back up. If we flip bullish here, that's not a bad buy. What stops be here? Wait out the next hourly and see what happens. Here. I got something that might cheer you up. If you ever go to a casino, just go with me. If you get a shit, focus. If you get a shit 4, you just snap your fingers and it becomes an ace. Real easy. We'll go to the casino together. You'll make your money back. Yeah, yeah. Whenever I'm right, this has to happen, right? Prices got to start driving. When I'm right, prices got to start driving. So that's why I start to go break even, because when I'm right, this starts to happen. When I'm wrong, this happens. So I might have gone break even too quickly here on both of these entries, but this is what the buys are supposed to look like. So when something like this happens and I'm break even, it's supposed to keep driving 14 pips. Look, once we took the entry here, we drove 13 pips, pulled back and took me out, but 15 pips is enough of a drive to go break even, because this shit should not pull back. Even here, once we entered on the rebreak of the high here, our next candle drove 16 pips, wicked us in, and then kept going, right? So it's just one of those where my entry was a little bit off. I would like some buys, but I want to wait for this hourly. Shout out to Pip Doctor. My idea is playing out, but it's before this hourly closure. Alright, wait on the next hourly closure and see what the beat is. What up, Matt? 5 minutes. This is clean, man. I was just watching a video of an old lady who goes on TikTok live and people send her some money sometimes. And then out of nowhere, people started writing dollar amounts in the comments, and she thought that's what those were donations. What would stop speed here? 30 pips. This is a risky setup. I'm gonna have a buy stop here with stops below this range, anticipating the hourly flip break and take us the fuck out of here. I went a lower risk on it, so it's a very risky trade. I wouldn't recommend it. Nice. Get this Asian pump. Could be an instant stop loss. That's why I went lower risk. break the low, what would start happening now? Yeah, we need to close back in range. This flip bullish is the hourly celery to the upside. 4-hour celery to the upside. Yeah, this is a straight up devious textbook celery setup for me. Closure above the range, doji candle, hourly flip. I just took it before the hourly in anticipation of that volume giving us that. Oof, that's gonna take us out. Very close. Celery could possibly fail here. Whoa! No, I'm not gonna pineapple here. If this hits stop loss, I'll probably call it and be down 15 pips for the night. What shit is this? Just gold doing gold things. Is that gonna be it for us tonight? Minus 15 pips on the session. Yep. Well, that's it for me, gang. Break even, break even. Tried again, failed. So let's add that to the record. Mitigating these losses very nicely. Oop. Mitigating them very nicely. Did I add the one we just took? No, that was 130 actually. Nice. Oh yeah, those last 3 losses that I added to the record all total up to half of what the losses were just a month ago. I was risking so much more. Well, it is what it is. I'm mitigating the losses, smaller risk. When gold starts playing nice, I'll be getting those 50, 30, 40, 50 pip trades again, 80 pip sessions again. It happens. So what I've lost 15 plus, I lost 35 plus 38 plus 15. That's 88 pips. Yeah, we were having 100 pip sessions just a month ago. Literal 100 pip sessions. Well, I survived by a pip and my stop loss is at 33.35 flat. Nice. Holy shit. Holy shit. Good luck, brother. Well, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna finish smoking the rest of this little joint that I got. And that's it for me, gang. Thank you guys for showing up. We've lost, what, like 3 trades in a row on stream? No, 2 trades on stream, and then we won one, and then we lost another one. No big deal. We'll be alright. will be I. Take it easy, gang. And that's what you do, bro. You just exit out of everything and you fucking call it, dude. Take it easy.